What kind of an impact did you make, Osnat?
The kitchen was just, the physical part of it. But what happened is that we did all of this work under an initiative which is called Health Promoting Schools. Health Promoting School is a World Health Organization initiative which is spread worldwide, both in developing and developed countries, which puts health into school system in a very holistic approach, looking at schools' policy, structure, health education and life skills, community engagement, capacity building, and so on and so on. So once we looked at the schools and built their capacity, then later schools started fighting some other needs and putting by themselves. Now we can see that some schools that didn't have feeding program started taking money from the parents to add feeding program into their curriculum. So that school that we constructed the kitchen, it was following their initiative of adding feeding program, but they had nowhere to cook and feed the kids. So the impact is huge because we know that kids who are not healthy, not enjoying basic meals and so on, will not achieve the same. I think that when you look at achievements, it will take longer time to study the impact on achievement because it's a very long-term indicator. So we are following that, and I hope that in 1 or 2 years we'll be able to see some impact on achievement. But the immediate impact was huge.
And obviously that one school that you all built caters to what, about 400 or 500 kids, right? But in total, we're talking about 6,000-7,000, is it?
In total, in our intervention schools is about 7,000 kids that enjoyed this. All these schools enjoyed upgrade of water and sanitation facilities, provision of soap, and later we trained the schools and the community on making their own soap. So now the schools are buying the chemicals and producing their own liquid soap, and same goes to the community, so they have even a source of income generating. Now we connected all the schools to the water facilities, so some of them are even using this as income generating to sell water for the community in lower cost than the vendors in the street. Of course, we put water tanks for water storage. The schools that the structure could afford it, we've put rainwater harvesting. So now it was a good rainy season, so I visited the schools and all the water tanks are full, so they can use this water for washing and so on because they're not safe for drinking. And on top of that, we trained the teachers, a lot of teachers training and capacity building, and then the teachers are doing the educational works in the classroom because only putting the facilities is a waste of money. Yeah. We can see from other places and from our study that the educational part is more important because you put facilities, but you don't train people on how to use them, and so you don't change behavior. And so then the facilities are just wasted.
Yeah. At the same time, they've obviously been very dependent on you and the Friends of Israel for putting structures in place. You're not going to be there forever. You're going to leave in a couple of months. Right. Will there be continuity once you're gone?
I cannot tell you to how level the continuity will be because, as I told you, some other donations came. But I think that the friends are still there. And all the work that I did was linked, number one, together with the activities of the African Population and Health Research Center. And number two, I think that our embassy is now really focused on charity work. So I'm hoping that number one, our successor, will continue some work on charity. But, every ambassador has his own initiative, so I cannot, and every wife has her own way of supporting, so it might be in a different angle. And then I think that the people are still, even if I'm in Israel, I still get emails. More people want to donate sanitary napkins, books, construction, and so on and so on. So this is one aspect. But about the specific project, I visited the school last Wednesday, and I was happy to see that everything is still there. The schools were just opening, so they were just getting ready for this term. But definitely, the facilities are there. The facilities are maintained. They sometimes struggle because when there's water rationing, the first place which is being rationed is these kind of places like the slums. It's terrible. So they can have like a few months with no water at all. So if there's no water, then even your most beautiful facilities are not working. So then they have to go and buy water, which is much more expensive. But basically, I think that now I can say that the schools really own the project. It's theirs. It's not Osnat's anymore, not APHRC. So I'm really hoping that we will be able to continue, especially that now we found a very good partner with the Ministry of Education, who is now working together with us. The PS, Professor Olek Yapi, visited the schools twice, and studied the challenges not only in the water and sanitation aspect, but also the challenge of the non-formal schools. Recently, the Ministry of Education launched a non-formal schools policy document that we were part of the launching. And I think that they are slowly progressing in the direction of studying how to meet the needs of the non-formal school as well, because, they cannot offer enough public schools. It means that, especially in the slums, most of the kids don't enjoy the free primary education. And I think the ministry is aware now and doing a lot of progress in the right direction, and we are helping them as an organization in my research center.
Yeah. Can you make an impact in one slum or two slums, Osnat? Do you think you can make an impact? Because there's so many slums. What were you telling me before? Like 2/3 of Nairobi folks live in slums?
Yes.
Was it 60 what? 65?
Yes, about 65% of the people in Nairobi live in slums. So the life that you and me know from the nice neighborhoods are not the real Nairobi lives. And the schools that you know in Nairobi are not the schools that most of the children go. Most of the children go to the other schools. The non-formal schools are being, usually the kids are being taught by untrained teachers, because these teachers, they cannot afford hiring trained teachers because they're not supported by the government. The structures are terrible. There's no feeding program. So I think it's changing. I hope it's changing slowly. We're really working together. But I think we managed to do an impact in Korogocho. Now, Korogocho is huge. We went to 11 schools. There are many more. We went to the 2 public schools that are there and to some of the non-formal schools. There's still a lot of work to be done. But we can see the change. And Korogocho is generally under the upgrade of Korogocho slums right now, which is a governmental program together with the Ministry of Local Governments and the Italian support organization and UN Habitat. So I'm hoping that slowly everything together, because they started improving the roads now. So I'm hoping that slowly we can see an impact on Korogocho.
Osnat, I want to talk more about that after the break. And also I want to talk about the fact that even if you leave, because you're leaving in late July?
Yes.
There's a good chance you may be coming back, right? And also the significance of this week. You were saying in Israel, I mean, this is it's a momentous week with all your, Independence Day celebration and all. But first, let's take a break.
Okay.
Wow. Diplomats, spouse folks, they're not just throwing tea parties, they are active, especially Osnat Keidar, I tell you, leading from the front in places like Korogocho. I tell you, changing the lives of children one at a time. That's what it's all about. And she says the impact, yes, the impact is visible. It's palpable. You can feel it out there, and they're doing a great job. That's what the theme is about all this week, diplomatic spouses. And it's only Monday, folks. Don't even think of going away. The bench is back in a moment.